apologizing gives you strength. It makes you feel like a strong person, because it is only a wise and a responsible person that recognizes that he or she has altered or he or she has wronged somebody and then goes forward to apologize and make amends. But on the other way, be careful, because when you begin to apologize for things you have not done, the person begins to exploit you, or the person begins to take you for granted.
I'll ask you this question from the lady angle. In a relationship between a man and a woman, are there things that can never be forgiven, no matter how bad it is?
It depends on the scenario. One, if it is abusive. If it is abusive, it can never be forgiven. You have to run for your life.
Our fathers or our forefathers, they believe that whether your parents are wrong or right, they give birth to you, so they know what is best for you. But coming to this dispensation now, you're hearing Gen Z, everything goes down to knowledge. If you don't improve on the knowledge you have, if you don't seek for knowledge, you cannot train these children, this generation.
Welcome guys to another captivating episode of the Bliss Hour, and today we will be exploring a topic that resonates deeply within the fabric of human interactions. Guess what that topic is? Apologies and remorse. Before we dive into this interesting discussion, let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. Like I said, our topic for today is apologies and remorse, and we have two guests that will be talking to us about this topic. Please do us the honor of introducing yourself.
Hello guys, I'm Elvis and Miss Blessing. I'm the CEO of Tesh Interiors, and I'm also a student of University of Port Harcourt, Basic Medical Sciences.
Hello everyone, I am so excited to be here. I am Blessing Olonta. I'm the CEO of Bipro Events.
Welcome Miss Blessing and Mr. Elvis to the Bliss Hour once again.
Thank you.
Like I said, our topic is on apologies and remorse. So I'll start with the lady. What does apology and remorse mean?
Apologies and remorse are synonyms that involves the act of feeling regretful or the act of feeling guilt for an action. Now, apology refers to the act of expressing your regrets on an action and working towards getting forgiveness or giving forgiveness.
So you're trying to say apology is an act, while remorse is a feeling. So Mr. Elvis, is there any difference between the two? Can you highlight?
Yes, there is a little bit different. When it comes to apology, you understand, it talks about the expression. You understand? Why remorse talks about a sincere feeling of remorse, like a sincere feeling of regret, whereby maybe there's a particular stuff you did and you're not quite okay with it, or there was someone that you offended. Understand? So apology just means that you telling the person, okay, I'm truly sorry. But remorse simply means that you like restraining yourself away from that particular act that caused that offense. So that's just the difference.
So there's an emphasis on sincere.
Yes, there must be sincere.
But the focal point of remorse is that it is internal. Most times it has to do with deep feelings. So that's the major difference between the both.
That's nice. So is it possible to apologize but not be remorseful, Mr. Elvis?
Yes, it's very possible.
How?
Okay, for instance, I know someone, like a friend of mine, who was into a relationship, and the girl in particular always complain about time, because the guy always gives her excuses of I'm too busy and the rest. He said, okay, I'm sorry, that I will try my possible best, that I'll be calling you maybe once a day or the other. Now, remorse simply means that you apologizing and, you understand, working towards that issue that causes that mistake. For instance, as she complains about the time issue, you're supposed to work on it. Make sure that, okay, this particular mistake that happens, that reoccur, I'm supposed to kill it. So that's what remorse simply means. So you working sincerely towards that particular thing, that's just remorse.
So Miss Blessing, do you agree on the rule to apologize? Like it must be the guilty one, the younger one, the girl in a relationship, the boy in a relationship, stuff like that.
I do not agree to that because we all are humans and we make mistakes irrespective of the gender. Whether you're a man, you're a woman, once you have made a mistake, probably all have laws and rules abiding us. So when you have gone out of what you are supposed to be, so you have to apologize, whether you're a child. It doesn't matter. Even if you're an adult and you have wronged the child, you have to apologize to that person.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Does apologizing make you feel less of a person? Like if you and someone have an issue and the person is wrong and do not see the wrong, then you have to apologize. Will it make you feel less of a person?
For me, there are two ways to the question you've asked. There are two answers. One, apologizing gives you strength. It makes you feel like a strong person because it is only a wise and a responsible person that recognizes that he or she has altered or he or she has wronged somebody and then goes forward to apologize and make amends. But on the other way, be careful because when you begin to apologize for things you have not done, the person begins to exploit you or the person begins to take you for granted and then you lose your self-respect. And so that is why I don't see it reasonable to apologize for something you have not done because most persons are really very hardened. They don't want to say they are sorry. And so you who have not done anything will always want to say, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. When you begin to abuse those privileges, the sorry doesn't count anymore. When you're always saying, I'm sorry, it doesn't always count. So when the person is guilty, the person should recognize that he or she has wronged you and the person should apologize.
Okay. So, Mr. Elvis, you said we say apologizing is by saying I'm sorry. Is it just the saying I'm sorry? Must actions be added to it?
Yes, action makes it real. Action makes it remorseful. For instance, you cannot apologize and you tell this particular person because anybody that is very close to you, maybe a family, a colleague, a relative that's very close to you, and you are doing your day-to-day life together, and you cannot pick a mistake the person have done. Simply means that you are not living. Understand? So everything boils down to family. The way we use train our children, the way we use grow. You understand? So everything boils down to the fact say you must at a point in time. You must at a point in time know that okay, whenever someone picks out a point in my life that I don't like the way you talk when you're in public, try and just okay, you yourself now as an adult or a teenager, you're supposed to go back, think about it, then work towards it. Make amends. That's just it.
Okay. So I'll still ask you the same question.
Okay.
If someone apologizes, maybe a friend of yours, or maybe you're in a relationship with your girlfriend or so, and then you have an issue, a big issue at that, and after saying sorry, will you both be the same way? Or you have boundaries, like limits?
If you have boundaries, it simply means that you're not remorseful.
Okay.
Because I don't see the fact that someone tells you that this is your error. Then you now say, okay, since you say I should stop keeping my shoe here, okay, I will not keep it here again. All those things just makes you feel that okay, that means you have pride.
But there are some people that will not, maybe sometimes might not really be an error.
Now see what I'm saying now is that everything boils down to family. You understand? The way I was brought up and the way you were brought up, they are two different things now. Now in my own family, now let me use an instance now. In my own family now, the boys, understand, the boys and the girls, they don't have boundaries in kitchen. Now there are some other families that you go to, they'll say the kitchen is meant for the ladies.
Yeah.
So everything boils down to the family. The way you see life, the way you have been taught life, understand? The way you have been taught life is different from the next person. So you both coming together now, sharing different ideologies. So you have to adjust to the next person so that it's okay. All these things I've been doing is just because I lack knowledge in this aspect of life. So that's just it.
So if there are boundaries, it simply means
if there are boundaries, they are not supposed to be boundaries. They're supposed to be adjustment to fit in. That's why most of the times you see that these friends have been in a relationship with a guy for like 3 years, but we no fit do anything again because this guy I don't like him way. I don't like him pattern. That's just it, because you start creating boundaries, you start seeing all what I'm pointing out to you that you dey overdo the stuff. So that's just it.
Okay. So, Miss Blessing, I'll ask you this question from the lady angle. In a relationship between a man and a woman, are there things that can never be forgiven, no matter how bad it is?
It depends on the scenario.
Okay.
One, if it is abusive,
Mm.
if it is abusive,
Got to run.
it can never be forgiven.
Okay.
You have to run for your life. Do you understand the angle where I'm coming from?
Yes.
But if it is something like not committing to calling, checking up on you, it can be forgiven. In areas where communication is low, you
Breached.
can just be forgiven because you two just have to work it out together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Elvis, in a guy's angle, are there things that a lady can do to you that you, in your heart, you'll be like, no, this one can't be forgiven, she should go, you let her go?
Now, there's a book I read, and I discovered that out of 1 to 10 relationship that breached, 90% comes from the man.
Okay.
Like the issue or the error comes from the man.
Okay.
If a girl stop communicating to you or stop giving that attention, initial attention that you were getting from her, it simply means that maybe you have erred in one way or the other. Understand? So let us look at it not as Nigeria now, because most of the time they will tell you that now, so we be doing for this culture. This is we. So I said, being educated doesn't mean that you must have a certificate. You must be exposed. You must have to see different way whereby people live this life and live it well. So being confined in an environment like maybe I don't like traveling, that's myopic in nature. So you have to try your possible best that education, both traveling, tourism, reading, and watching all these entertainment movies makes you, educational things, inspirational things, makes you that you see that there are some people that said men need to wash woman clothes. Okay. That's African.
Men need to wash plates.
Yes, men need to wash. That's African for you. If you go outside there, you see that everything is being shared, and you see that the love will be in a straight channel. But you leaving a particular burden for the lady, you see that little by little, her love for you will be dropping.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Miss Blessing, talking about dealing with hurt, rape, beating, and all that, you made mention of abuse. If there's abuse, you should run for your life. So, it's rape. Let's make use of the word rape. Is it easy to forgive or hard to forgive?
For those persons who are struggling with rape, those persons who have been raped and are struggling to forgive, my advice to them is, I know it's going to take time, but stick to God, because that is where you can find your comfort. And remember that the Bible says, forgive as many times as possible. And for the sake of your health, forgive and let go.
Have you been betrayed before?
Oh yes, countlessly.
Can you share a little experience about it?
Okay, I've been betrayed by a friend. Yeah, where we were secondary school mates. Yeah, and we were so close. We eat together, we do things together and all of that. Most times I would even want to share my provisions with her. I took her as a sister. And then it got to a time when I got very sick in the hostel and they didn't come to look after me. I noticed that they were just after what they were getting from me. So I was very sick. I was almost sent home because the boarding school.
So the relationship is parasitic.
Yes. Okay. So when some of the seniors got to know about it, they called them and punished them. And so after then, I know it was years back, and then we were younger. So I feel it's just all the small children play. So when they called them and punished them, they had to write a letter calling me bastards and all of that. You know, all of them deserted me. I was just left alone. And then I felt broken. Yeah, I felt broken, but I've always learned to forgive and let go.
That's really touching. How about you, Mr. Elvis? Do you have any experience with betrayal?
Yeah, I have experience with betrayal, but there's a particular one I want to talk about. Okay, when I was growing up, I ventured into so many businesses, and because I lost my dad earlier, so giving up, if it's Nigeria, I say giving up na fuck up. So I just have to venture into other things. But there's a particular guy now that I shared everything, both my knowledge with him. And I noticed that this particular person, if I refer him to a client's house, understand, say, okay, go and represent me there or this, instead of him defending the name of the brand, he will now be condemning the brand, saying all manner of things. But I will just notice that after this client patronizes me finish, the client will not call me back. Instead, I'll start seeing the client posting work that maybe linked the guy with. So I will not say, okay, this guy does he go behind my back to take their contacts afterwards? Then he will not do. So that's a major betrayal because I was the one that trained him. I trained him and it was for free. There was no money involved, but instead of me getting like appraisal from him, but instead he's just tarnishing my name and the rest. So betrayal is common. It's common in Nigeria.
Even in relationships.
Yes, betrayal is common in Nigeria. Whether male or female, is not subject to any gender. So it's common.
So about a remorseful apology and what it means to different genders, like to a guy it means respect and to a lady it means love. So how true is it?
Everyone deserves respect and love. So the same way you should be able to be remorseful and to forgive is the same way the guys too. Most times our Nigerians will be like, after I'm the man, she should be the one to apologize and to respect. If she doesn't apologize, then it doesn't mean she loves me, it doesn't mean she respects me. The ladies will be like, if he doesn't apologize, he doesn't love me. If you look at it properly, you know that everyone needs the respect, everyone needs to be loved. So apology is something, it's not gender. Yeah, it's everyone. Even the little ones too needs the respect and love.
What about Mr. Elvis? What do you think?
Okay. Now, both of us, our relationship is not that strong. So the way I communicate with you is meant to be different from the way I communicate with my spouse, my mom, my siblings. Now, if we are like me and my siblings, we are used to all these insultive words, get sense, all those kind of stuff and the rest. And you know that, okay, maybe a particular girl now that you are dating or you want to be in a relationship, it doesn't like it. It's going to be very difficult because this is how you grew up with. So you're going to find a way to adjust and adjust. So that's where you know that, okay, because of I love you, because of the love I have for you and the way I value you, that's why I will just have to adjust some of my character to suit yours. So it's a two-way something. The way you are brought up, the way you are brought up can definitely affect. Some persons there, you go come beg me tire now. All those kind of stuff. So you're already
are really very hardened.
So some persons that this is how they grew up. So everything just, if you still trace it back to the family, maybe to the environment, you know, if you see waterside guy now and someone that grew up in GRA thinking like is a clear vision there. You will see difference from it. So
how about in a case where parents are wrong to their children? African parents, they have a way of annoying us, the children.
Nigerian parents
to be specific.
So
when parents are wrong, how do you think a child will react or can react?
Now, our fathers or our forefathers, they believe that whether your parents are wrong or right, they give birth to you, so they know what is best for you. But coming to this dispensation now, you're hearing Gen Z, everything goes down to knowledge. If you don't improve on the knowledge you have, if you don't seek for knowledge, you cannot train these children, this generation now. You cannot expect your child to be happy with you in this generation whereby you are wrong, you offended him or her. You have to just apologize. There is no big deal there. It's we that we are saying it as a big deal, but it's not a big deal. It shows that there is unity, there is love in the family. Because my mom cannot offend me now and she's expecting me to just behave myself. Definitely I won't. That's where you see most girls, they have secrets, they don't tell their mom. You trace it back, you see that, okay, there's no love, there's no cordial relationship between mother and daughter or mother and son. So that's how it starts. So you have to go down to improving your knowledge on parenting. You will not use the one that they used in 1984 to train someone in 2023. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way.
I think it all boils down to communication. You know, in a family setting, communication is the key. And so when you see that your parents have wronged you, even at the heat of the quarrel, when you retreat, later on, go and meet him or her. Tell him, Daddy, look at my angle. This is what you have said. This is where you have wronged me.
So what about the father? Like you have this particular father that his face alone self scares the yes, all these strict parents.
That is why we still have communication.
All these strict parents.
Look at the time when he's in a good mood. We all know our parents' weak points. We know their weaknesses. Look at the time when he's in a good mood. Meet him, talk with him, tell him, look at this thing the other time. This is what you did. And I felt really disappointed and hurt. So he should apologize. He would apologize because he will say, it is so wise for this person to sort of holding it or keeping it back.
There's something I want to add to what she said now. See, when you are training your children, I believe that you are not supposed to instill fear into them. Because when you instill fear into your child, growing up, there's nothing, there will not be room for this. There will not be room for that you offended me and the rest. There will not be room for that. Automatically, you have fear for your mom or your dad. So I believe that you training them with love and care doesn't make you a lesser parent.
All right. So let's talk about our country, our dear country, Nigeria.
Our wonderful Nigeria.
Exactly. So we know there are lots of anger among the citizens of this country.
Yeah.
Like the hike in price and all that, years of suffering. There are a lot of things that can make us
joblessness.
Yes, unemployment and all that. So what do you think is the best apologetic effort or method the government across board can take?
The only apology we need right now is for our government to right their wrongs. Yeah, we are really hurting. We are suffering. If it was possible for us to even trek to leave this country, we will. But because it's not possible, we are pleading that they should try and right their wrongs. Make rooms for employment. Look at the price of fuel. So one morning I was jogging. You know that moment where people are rushing for to work. I saw so many persons trekking. I was like, wow. And probably they will trek half and then pay cab half. So you can see that we are suffering. The prices of foodstuffs have skyrocketed and everything is just difficult. So the only apology, because there is no way you'll be apologizing and you will not make amends. So the only apology we need right now is them making a U-turn from what it has been to something better.
That one is a very difficult thing. We live in a country whereby the politicians, they say more and do less. We live in a country whereby the elderly ones, the people in power, they feel this is their right.
Yeah, they want to keep ruling.
This is their right. This is how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be my way. So, talking about Nigeria, take the grace of God and the people in power is a personal decision. Most persons, they have done it. You have different countries that they suffered and they decided that they are going to make. First of all, if they can see the brighter light in Nigeria, Nigeria has so many resources. Nigeria is a good ground for development. We have so many talent. We have most people, they just want to come into Nigeria and invest. But these so-called politicians now, they don't want to see that aspect of Nigeria. That is why it's like that. But if they can just have this better light about Nigeria, say, okay, if we extend our hands, if we develop this particular sector, that this country is going to favor not just me and my family, but both the populace out there. So that's what it takes. It boils down to them, like personally, what they have decided that this is how we can use to fix Nigeria and make the wrong things that they have done right.
Thank you, Miss Blessing and Mr. Elvis, for coming once again.
Thank you.
It was really engaging and interesting, I must say.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. So guys, peace is priceless. Be the bigger person and remorsefully make peace with all. Until next time, I remain your humble host, Bliss. Stay tuned for more interesting and captivating episodes from the Bliss app. Bye guys.